Hey guys, Courtney here with Courtney's Customs, and today I am going to be showing you guys how to make the Poison Apple Tumbler. For this tumbler, I am using a 12-ounce wine tumbler from Maker Flow Crafts. I'll make sure to put their link down in the description. And I base painted the tumbler gloss cranberry from Rust-Oleum. So that's my base coat. It's good and dry. Only thing we need to do today is cover it in glitter, spray seal it, and put epoxy on it until smooth. So I'm going to say 2 coats. This is Dr. Love from the Glitter Grind. It's not like your candy apple red, but it's, I wouldn't quite call it burgundy. It's just a really deep red, I think. So, as always, I am using the Mod Podge method. Just going to cover this entire tumbler and epoxy until smooth. Okay, so now that all of the glitter is on and it's been spray sealed, just once, I'm going to put it on my turner. 2 coats of epoxy, I'm assuming, is what it's going to take to make it completely smooth, so we're not going to have any bumps or anything, but we'll see. And then I will come back once it's smooth and show you the next step. Okay, so it's actually just the next day, and this is super, super smooth. So it's ready for the next step. This decal right here, this is just the eyes and the nose. If you go to Etsy, which I'll put the link down in the description from where I got this one, it was $1.99. Go to Etsy and type in Poison Apple Tumbler SVG, and it'll come up with like the whole entire apple with the face on it. So I just got the whole thing. When I uploaded this to Cricut Design Space, I just erased everything but the eyes and the nose. So this is what I'm left with, and I sized it. That's all just personal preference. I think this is like 2 inches tall and just a hair under 3 inches wide. So all personal preference, but what I'm going to do now, get this onto the tumbler and then mix up the drips to get those started. At first I thought I made the eyes and the nose a little too big, but now that I'm looking at it, I'm glad I made it this big because I really want it to be noticeable around all of the drips. So I'm going to put it about right there. And I think this piece of transfer tape has seen better days, so I need to throw that one away. So it's on there good. Next thing to do is mix up my drips, which I do the Mod Podge and cornstarch method. If you've never seen me do this before, then here's some new information. I'm just putting what I have left of my Mod Podge. Good thing I have another one. Putting some into a cup. And I'm going to take my cornstarch, which this is just Kroger brand cornstarch. I don't really think the brand matters, but just in case you're wondering. I'm going to add some. I'm going to go ahead and add some paint too. This is Parakeet from Apple Barrel. It's a really nice bright green. And I do my drips like this instead of the epoxy method because I don't like messing with epoxy. I always get it on myself, like it literally never fails. So I do Mod Podge and cornstarch, and of course the cornstarch thickens it up. And I just keep adding a little bit at a time and stirring it until I get my desired thickness. And after that big glump, this might be enough here. It takes a lot more than you think. I'm actually surprised at how much it takes to get this thickened up the way I want it to be. I always test it by just scraping some on the side of the cup here and watching how fast it goes down, which that's going down pretty fast still. So maybe one more bit should do it. Always add a little bit at a time because you can always, you know, add more, but you can't take any away. So even if it takes you 10 minutes to mix up your drips like it does me, just go slow with it. So now what I'm going to do is get these drips onto the tumbler, and even though I do it this method, I still put them on like somebody would doing the epoxy method. So I just scrape from a popsicle stick onto the tumbler and let it fall down. And do it all the way around the tumbler until I'm satisfied, but I do want to make sure I get a good bit over that vinyl there. So I might be doing it pretty thick on the front here. Alright, so now while this is still wet, I'm going to very carefully go through and peel up the vinyl. Very, very carefully because I don't want to mess it up. But the cool thing is this is still wet. I can probably go through with my mixture that I made up because I still have a little bit left, and I will smooth out anything that gets messed up because I'm sure something is going to get messed up here. Alright, so after getting the decals off, this is what I have. I'm going to let this sit overnight because even though the Mod Podge is dry, it's still really soft and squishy when you touch it. So if I go to put epoxy over this, I'm just going to smear everything everywhere. So I'm going to clean up my workspace here because it's covered in green stuff. And let this sit overnight, put a coat of epoxy over it tomorrow, and come back to show you what it looks like finished. So after some epoxy, this is what we have. I absolutely love it. I really love how the epoxy was able to just really smooth everything out and make the drips look a lot cleaner and smoother. So I will probably be adding just another coat, maybe 2 of epoxy, just to have a good thick layer on there to keep everything nice and protected. I don't want anything, especially these drips, to be like chipping off or anything. So gonna add some more epoxy, but other than that, it is done. And before I go, I do have y'all's cup of positivity for the day. Unfortunately, this one does not have an author, but today's quote is, "Life is like a camera. Just focus on what's important, capture the good times, develop from the negatives, and if things don't work out, just take another shot." That's all I have for you guys today. I really hope you enjoyed the tutorial. If you have any questions, like always, please feel free to comment. Don't forget to subscribe. Be kind, love one another, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye!